Hey everyone, welcome to our deep dive today.
We're tackling how to keep kids safe and savvy online.
It's a big one.
It is.
Yeah.
So kind of like the Wild West out there, right?
Yeah.
Incredible opportunities, but also,
Yeah.
some real dangers lurking around every corner.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
We're going to be extracting some top tips from the Digital Literacy for Kids podcast,
Okay.
trying to equip everyone with some really practical advice on how to raise, those awesome digital citizens of the future.
I like that. Awesome digital citizens.
Yeah.
That's the goal, right?
It is the goal.
Give them the tools they need
Exactly.
to navigate this world responsibly, confidently.
Yeah, and I think that podcast started with a really good point about privacy.
So,
And it's something that, we can all relate to as parents or, aunts and uncles.
yeah.
Think about it this way.
Okay.
Would you ever want your kid shouting their home address and phone number in a crowded park?
No way.
Not
a chip.
But, sharing personal info online without thinking can be kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
It's easy to forget that the internet is a very public place.
So public.
Like it's not just you and your friends.
Exactly.
It's the whole world.
Yeah, so the podcast had this really simple rule. I thought it was great.
Okay.
They said if they wouldn't share it with a stranger in real life, they shouldn't post it online.
Makes sense to me.
Right? Seems pretty straightforward, but why is that so important?
Well, think about it.
Yeah.
Oversharing can have some really serious consequences.
Okay.
Imagine someone using your child's name
Uh-huh.
and address to open a credit card in their name.
That's scary.
Right. That's identity theft,
Yeah.
and it's a real risk.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
we need to help kids understand that protecting their personal information is crucial for their safety and security.
Yeah, and I think, a lot of adults don't even realize that.
About themselves.
That's right. So it's even more important to be teaching that to the younger generation.
Yeah, starting young is key.
Okay, so moving on. Let's talk about fake news.
Okay.
This one's a biggie.
Huge.
The podcast compared the internet to a giant library where anyone can write a book.
Mm-hmm.
And that just really resonated with me because it's so true.
It is.
Right. You've got experts, you've got, jokers, you've got everyone in between.
Literally everyone.
So how do you sort through all of that?
Right. Well, that's where critical thinking comes in.
Yes.
That's what we need to be teaching our kids.
Absolutely.
To be like little detectives.
I love that.
Right. Ask questions. Investigate the source. Don't just believe everything you read.
So how do we actually teach them to do that? The podcast mentioned double-checking facts.
Yes.
What does that look like in practice?
I mean, it can be as simple as teaching them to pause
Okay.
before they share something
Mm-hmm.
and just ask themselves a few questions.
Okay.
Like, where did this information come from?
Right.
Is this a credible website?
Yeah.
Doesn't sound too good to be true.
Yeah, those are all really good ones.
Simple checks like that
Yeah.
could go a long way.
Especially with how fast things spread online.
Oh,
Tell me about it.
it's like one click and it's
Gone viral.
gone by.
Yeah.
All right, let's shift gears a little bit and talk about something that, might seem obvious,
Okay.
but it's so important. Safe online communication.
Oh, yeah. This is huge.
The podcast made this great comparison to real-world interactions.
Mm-hmm.
The same rules of respect and kindness.
Totally.
They apply online, too.
It's easy to forget that there's a real person
Yeah.
on the other side of the screen.
Yeah.
You know?
It's so easy to be like, oh, it's just a screen. I can say whatever I want.
Right, exactly. But those words have power.
They do.
So teaching kids to think before they post
Yeah.
and to consider the impact of their words.
It's essential. It really is.
Would you encourage your kid to be rude to someone at the playground?
No.
No, of course not.
Same principle online.
Exactly. And one thing that really struck me from the podcast was their advice to talk to a trusted adult if something uncomfortable happens online.
Yes.
Why is that so crucial?
Because kids need to know that they're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's cyberbullying, inappropriate content, anything else that makes them feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Having that open line of communication with a trusted adult can make a world of difference.
Absolutely.
It's about creating a safe space for them
Yes.
to share their concerns.
And to get help if they need it.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's move on to another concept that I found really interesting.
Okay.
This idea of the digital footprint.
The digital footprints. Okay.
Every click, every post, every comment,
It's all there.
it all adds
It
up.
all contributes to a child's digital footprint.
And it can last for years.
Years and years.
It really can.
Yeah,
So encouraging positive online behavior, I mean,
Yeah.
that's why it's so important.
absolutely.
Sharing hobbies,
Yeah.
creative projects, positive comments.
It all helps to build a positive footprint,
Mm-hmm.
something they can be proud of.
Right. And I think it's really interesting. The podcast talked about
Yeah.
avoiding those hurtful or impulsive comments,
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
which makes sense
Huge.
when you think about it this way.
Think about the bigger picture.
Yeah,
It's about building a positive online reputation.
it is.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Future employers,
Oh, yeah.
college admissions officers,
I'm going to look at this.
they might.
Right.
So helping kids understand that their actions online have real-world consequences
Hmm.
can encourage them to be more mindful,
Yeah.
more careful.
Yeah, because I think we all know that feeling of like
Well, yeah.
putting something out there and then being like, oh, wait,
Delete, delete, delete.
should I have said that?
Yeah, we've all been there.
All right, well, let's tackle the big one. I think the one that everyone worries about.
Okay, Abby.
Screen time.
Screen time, the big one.
We all know too much isn't good.
Nope.
But finding that balance
Yeah.
is really tough.
It is a tough one.
So what are some practical tips?
Well, the podcast had a good one.
Okay.
Setting screen time limits
Mm-hmm.
and encouraging offline activities.
Like what?
I mean, reading, playing sports, spending time with family,
Yeah.
anything that gets them away from the screen.
It's the moving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Create a healthy balance.
And it's not even just about, limiting the screen time. It's also about taking those breaks.
Yes.
Getting up, moving around, resting their eyes, reminding them that there's a whole world beyond the screen.
It's a beautiful world out there.
So just to kind of wrap things up today,
Okay.
we've covered a lot.
Yeah.
Protecting privacy,
Mhm.
thinking critically about online info,
Yes.
communicating respectfully, building a positive online presence, and balancing screen time.
It's a lot.
It is a lot to consider.
But it's all important.
It really is.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it comes down to giving kids the tools they need to really thrive in the digital world.
Thrive and be safe.
And as we finish up, here's something for everyone to ponder.
Okay.
We've covered the basics today,
Right.
but the digital world is always changing.
Always evolving.
So what new challenges and opportunities do you think kids will face online in the future?
That's a good one.
And how can we best prepare them?
Yeah, that's something to think about.
So much to think about.
For sure.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
You got it.
We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.